Hi folks, today we've got you another flocking video. This is the most recent thing that Paul flocked. It's a sort of egg shape that's been 3D printed, and of course he used the electrostatic method, and we were just amazed at how fantastically it's covered. So I've been so pleased with the results that I decided to order some more flocking in a different colour. So this colour is called raw white stroke cream, or cream stroke raw white. And of course we got some adhesive of the same colour. So what we're going to attempt to flock is our Mio Pop. You may have seen the video that we did on Mio Pop when I first got it last year, and I pointed out that the material on the ears and the tail has lost its plasticizer and got these holes in it as it became inflexible. So we wondered if it would be possible to flock it to cover up all that ugliness. The tail isn't as worn as the ears, so it hasn't actually got holes on it, but it's still pretty worn. And Paul's putting some masking tape around the base to keep the flocking away from it. And he's cleaned it down with isopropyl alcohol. He's finished putting all the tape on now, and you can see he's attached a piece of wire here and stuck it down with tape, because he's going to use that to clip the crocodile clip to, and that should pull the flock towards the tail. So we're not sure if this is going to adhere to this material yet, because it's like very flexible like silicone, but it can't actually be silicone because silicone doesn't dry out like that, does it?
No, it doesn't. So it must be some sort of like maybe PVC.
So hopefully it will adhere.
Difficult to get an even coating. I suppose a small spray applicator would be better.
It's also experimental, really, isn't it? I wonder if you flock something. I wonder if you can cover it with glue again and flock it a second time.
I would think so, yeah.
Oh, well, if it doesn't work so well, if it's patchy or whatever, we'll try and do that.
It's very difficult to get an even coating of glue with the paintbrush.
Well, like I say, if it's patchy, we'll try putting glue on a second time and flocking again, yeah?
Okay.
I mean, that in itself will be interesting to see the result.
Okay, let's try that.
I mean, you're not 100% sure that sort of is going to work that way, are you?
Not really, no.
So it's all experimental.
Here we go anyway.
Yeah. So it's not covered completely, which is no surprise. And we've also got a lot of stuff on flock on his head, so I need to wipe him down.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about putting another layer of glue on and then trying to do it again on top. And also I'm just wondering if it might be better to use the manual way of applying the flock, because
It could be because Mio Pop's body seemed to act as a big attractor, and it was bringing up clouds of flocking which weren't really going to the tail.
So I think that might be an idea. You're also going to order some, what do you call it, Paul? Acrylic filler that's flexible.
To see if we can repair the ears.
Yeah.
Interestingly though, the tail, where it's healthy, it's covered up the yellowness, and it has given it quite a nice finish.
Yeah. So,
But it's not gone on as thick as it would have done if the tail was done by itself. That's the thing.
So if we are going to put another layer of glue on, how long do you think we should leave it before we do that?
I would give this 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah.
Okay. So because the flock was going all over the Mio Pop when you
Attempted to flock the tail,
we decided to take the Mio Pop apart to get access to the tail, so that we could do the tail separate from the body, so that wouldn't cause that problem of it all going all over. And because we liked the look of the flock on the tail, we thought, and we're taking it apart, we thought we might as well try flocking the legs as well. So Paul's removed this leg, and you've sanded it as well.
all over with 400 grade wet and dry sandpaper.
Can you just take this apart to show folks? Because you've taken some things out of the inside of the leg as well, haven't you?
We've removed the battery box, electronics.
And there was some sort of spring there as well.
Well, the spring was in the other half.
Oh, so there was some sort of spring
I've removed
there
that.
as well.
This bit won't actually come out. There seems to be some adhesive holding the black bit in. So.
Yeah, but the electrostatic's not going to bother that, is it?
No, there are no electronic components there.
Okay.
We are going to apply sticky labels over at the areas where we don't want it. So we'll.
Oh, right, so you're going to put that where the screws go as well?
Well, I think maybe push some cotton wool down there just to stop the flocking going down the screw holes,
Yeah, okay.
And apply sticky labels where we don't want the flocking to go.
Okay. Okay, so we've got a label on the bottom and a label there. I can smell isopropyl alcohol, Paul.
Ah, yes.
Have you been cleaning it down?
Just give it a rub down all over with isopropyl.
I guess it's hard to see which bits you've done with it, both in cream.
Yeah.
Like creamy white. So because Paul couldn't see where he was applying the glue with it being the same colour, he did miss putting glue on some bits. There's a bit there, and there's a bit elsewhere as well. So he's going to try and fill in those bits. So you're just going to do this area that you missed first.
Yeah, just touch it up with a small paintbrush with some of the adhesive on and try recoating it. Okay.
Well, it's filled it in and you'll be able to brush the excess off, won't you?
Yeah.
And something else you did differently there was you put this cake tin around the base, and it seemed to stop it puffing up as much, didn't it? To cover the bits that were missed last time, you've put these little wires through, Paul. That's to attract.
So the high voltage gets applied to those areas when the wet glue gets put on, so they can all connect it together at the back.
Right.
You might call it flock repair. So all I'm going to do is pull the wires out now, yeah? Okay.
Right.
Flock repaired.
Yeah. So you're going to leave that to set. So you brushed this down, Paul. You brushed the excess off.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
Well, it's the first component we've done, and the mistake that I made is that when I applied the adhesive, I didn't cover all the areas, so we were left with some patches. So we were trying to repair those patches afterwards, and they have covered with flock, but you can still see the difference between the repaired area and the rest of it. So a good learning experience, I think. It's critical that you get the adhesive on all over in a nice even thin coat before you start flocking, which is easier said than done when it's white adhesive on white plastic.
It's a pity, isn't it? It's a bit rough.
Yeah, but if I were to do that leg again, it would be, I think, almost flawless, and we have got 3 other legs to do anyway, so
yeah,
it is an art and crafty process applying flocking, so there is a learning curve to it.
Is there anything we could do about this to improve the appearance, or not? You couldn't sort of reflock the whole thing?
Not without removing the flock, no. Maybe when the leg is fixed together, and perhaps we give it a more stiff brush down, perhaps with the toothbrush, it might smooth out some of the differences in texture. But certainly, I think the second leg that we try will be much better. In fact, I think it'll be, as I say, approaching flawless.
Someone had put this cap on.
Yeah, it's one of those furniture things, isn't it? It's not an original part, and we only discovered that when we were taking it apart.
But what you're going to do is you're going to make something.
Yeah, I'll make
the equivalent of this. Because you have to put a hole in there to get at the screw.
It looks like these caps have been fixed in with adhesive, so I'll have to drill them out or prise them out, and therefore I'll have to renew the caps. What we're going to do is 3D print a cap. 4 caps in fact, that will fit in, and flock the top surface of the cap before pushing them in and gluing them in place.
So we'll be doing that on the next video.
Yes.
And also in the next video we're going to try out this. So you've made a new applicator.
Yeah. The flock that we applied first had just been put on a metal sheet and attracted upwards to the component, but we decided to make a flock applicator based on the ones that you can buy,
Right.
which is just a container to hold the flock. You have a top that's removable, so you can put the flock in there.
Yeah.
The copper plate at the bottom, that's going to be connected to the high tension or the static electricity generator that will run through a cable through the handle.
Yeah.
The yellow wire will be bonded to that as well, and the gauze screen, which is aluminium, will also be bonded to that. So the flock will be in this container. It'll get the sort of negative or positive charge, and it'll be attracted towards the component we're flocking. And you do that just by holding it some distance away, maybe 8 to 12 inches, and giving it a little jiggle like that, and the flock flies out of the gauze screen towards the component to be flocked.
And it also takes out one of the jobs. It removes one of the jobs because you don't have to sieve the flock because it's effectively been sieved.
Yeah, the flock is quite clumpy when you get it out of the bag, and it invariably needs sieving before you use it. But this device should remove that step because the clumps won't be able to get through the gauze screen.
Okay, so look forward to using that, Paul.
Yeah.
In the next video when we flock the next leg.